Okay, hi everyone. We did such a expanded version, but I wanted to continue with showing you exactly what we see 10 commandments in the Bible. We are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, meaning we have to obey the will of God. Some have love and compassion to lead others to Christ. Some are a little bit more harsher and will save with fear, pulling them out of the fire. Just show you in Jude that is fine. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true. The other is to refuse to accept what is true. Now today we're going to go over 1 John, expand a little more on the 10 commandments. Some people think that because of the New Testament we don't have to obey the 10 commandments anymore. But that's just lies of the church and religion of today. As I'll go through this, and then it will be more clear to you how Jesus said, those that love me keep my commandments. And if you're in the Father, you're in Jesus is in the Father, and you are in me, and to follow him, and what this exactly means. Jesus said he did follow God and did his commandments, and so we're to follow Jesus and do the same thing. But let's continue on here. God did not give out the 10 commandments to be the 10 suggestions. I like that one. Satan's target is your mind, his weapon is lies, and his purpose is to make you ignorant of God's will. So you can't just go around listening to everybody else. You have to, your mind is your first thing. Remember I told you in the last video, your mind. You have to clean out your mind with things that are not of the world, and using the Bible a lot. And not listen to the lies anymore of the world. If we don't teach our children who God is, someone else will teach them. Now that's another thing. Should we be having our kids go in the school system when they are teaching them pagan things, Christmas and all that, and teaching them evolution and all that? It's wrong to do that too. The Bible doesn't say, depart from me who practice the law. Most people say, oh, the Jews practice the law, we got to get away from that. It says, depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness, is what Jesus said. God's love language is obedience. And we're going to go through that. 1 John, 2 John. John 15:10 says, if you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. See, if we're following Jesus, we're following God. If we follow Jesus of the New Testament, we're following God of the Old Testament. If you know that God loves you, you should never question a directive from him. Right? Are you sure you're doing what's right? 1 John are the marks of authentic Christianity. Okay, so the condition of our relationship with God, if it's correct, what do you know? There's 3 tests: believe in Jesus, love, and obedience, which is 1 John, all 1 John. Any religious belief not based on the Bible keeps us in spiritual darkness, okay, guys? A lot of the world, God even said he would blind those that don't have the correct heart and listen to his word. He blinds them, right? People are saved, they're told to go to church, and they get blinded very quickly. See, 1 John 2, 3-4 says, "And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him," or know Jesus, "and keeps not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him." You need to wake up to the truth, people. Whoever claims to live in him must walk as Jesus did. Okay, I'm not writing to you a new commandment, but an old one which we've had from the beginning, which is the Old Testament. And yet he's writing a new commandment at the same time. The covenant has been renewed with Jesus as a Passover lamb, right? The covenant, when you make a law, you don't usually change it completely, you just renew it, right? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not. He's writing a new command. The truth is seen in him, which is in Jesus, and in you. This old command is the message you have heard, yet I'm writing a new command, which is the truth you've seen in him and is in you now. And do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You need to drop the things of the world. And the only way you can obey the 10 Commandments is if you drop the things in the world. It comes part and parcel. But anyone who does what pleases God will live forever. Whoever commits sin transgresses the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. And here it is again. Jesus is saying, the Father, I'm in the Father, and you are in me. Abide in me. No one who abides in him sins. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. What he's saying here is not just in general terms. He is also saying keeping the 10 Commandments and not sinning. Loving your neighbor, loving God is keeping the 10 Commandments, both of those things, and believing in Jesus, all those things together. He's righteous if he obeys God and doesn't sin. And that includes the 4th commandment, keeping the Sabbath day holy. That's part of not sinning. See John 3, 9-10. No one born of God makes a practice of sinning. And you can pause the video if you want to read this stuff as you go along and study it. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. God answers prayer if you do keep his commandments. It's very amazing. Like he is there right with you. And whatever we ask, we receive from him, because we keep his commandments and do the things that are pleasing to him, which we said before. And this is his command, to believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and to love one another as he commanded us. This is a new commandment, right? But it's added in with the old commandment. He's saying keep the old commandment and then the new commandment. This is how we know he stays with us, and that we keep the commandments, he will dwell in us. That's what makes us a holy temple of God. We love because he first loved us. I'm going through all of the book of 1 John. I obey God because I love God and not for any other reason. I do it because I want to do that. We know we are the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. And they're not grievous or burdensome. When it comes to your eternal destiny, don't be so quick to say God knows my heart, because he knows your heart better than you do, and more than you may care to admit. And we're supposed to walk according to his commandments, and that you have heard from the beginning that you should have walk in it. See, he's telling you to go back to the Old Testament commandments and walk in them, as you've heard from the beginning. The Jews know this very well. They're very obedient, and that's why they've been blinded, because they're too obedient. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. It turns into rituals rather than love for God. And this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. And I don't mean just the commandments, I mean all the other rules is what he's talking about, that they added in there. That turned into Judaism. Okay, 2 John 1:7. It's only one chapter, but I added 2 John and 3 John in there because they're all both one chapter. Many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is a deceiver and the Antichrist, and of course a liar as well. It's about Jesus and it's about the commandments, all the New Testament. God's people are identified. How does Revelation refer to those who will be saved? Let's take a look. Revelation 14:12, Revelation 12:17. They're identified as people who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus. And if you note this includes keeping, like everybody usually that love God keep all the commandments, but well, they don't, because they celebrate Christmas and Easter, which is idol worship, and they don't keep the Sabbath. And that's going into the religion of the church religions of today. They tell you that. You don't have to. Revelation 12:17. See, he's making war with the remnant of the seed that keep the commandments of God. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. God keeps telling us over and over, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Yeah, see, the problem with today's religion, they think they have all the answers. They don't allow questions. They tear your head off if you ask questions or tell them that they could be wrong. And remember last time I mentioned about grouping the commandments into two portions, about God, how to love God and how to love others. Here they separated family, but it's actually two groupings, how to love others. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Time is ticking by, and I can feel an explosion inside. And time is ticking by, and I can feel an explosion inside. As in the days of Noah, as in the days of Noah, they'll be drinking, marrying, laughing. As in the days of Noah, what a fool, they say, to build a boat on sand. What a fool, they say. It's never rained before. It's never rained before. It's never rained before. As in the days of Noah, so it will be in the coming of the Son of Man. And what a fool, they say, to fast and pray. And what a fool, they say, come on, it's been 2,000 years. Do you really think that he's coming? Come on, let's just get real. But remember this first, that many, many, many scoffers will come. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late. It's too late. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late. It's too late. As in the days of Noah, it's never rained before. It's never rained before. It's never rained before. It's never rained before. But 1 day, 2 days, 3 days gone by, and time is ticking by, and I can feel an on inside. People get ready, Jesus is coming. And many, 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 many scoffers will rise in that day, and they'll say, it's never rained before, it's never rained before, it's never rained before, it's never rained before, it's never rained, rain, go away, hide it from the wrath of the Lamb. 'Cause when the rain starts falling, it's too late, it's too late. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late, it's too late. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late, it's too late. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late, it's too late. And when the rain starts falling, it's too late.